think we are now live.
We are.
We are. Give me 1 second here. Let me do one last thing. We'll wait a few minutes for everybody to come in here too. And let's see. There we go.
I should probably not be looking down, huh?
It's okay. It's all good.
Better to be looking down than falling down is what I say.
Yep. All right. So, guys, everybody, thank you so much for joining. This is really exciting to me because this is going to be our first live interview. And this is going to be, for those of you who don't know, I'm Wade with Wade's Ventures, and you are on my YouTube channel. And what I'm doing is we're going to be interviewing some amazing resellers for the next couple months, and I've got one of them on here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Noel Griffith. I go by Farmgurlscavenger, and I'm in Southern Washington. It's about, 30 minutes from you, something like that.
It is. And guys, this is going to be really, really cool because the whole point of this is to invite people on here that are just kind of getting into the social media game. And she is amazing. We met in person recently over the weekend, and over at when Hustler Hacks and Hustle Bee and Nicole State had their big events here in Portland. So I decided it would be only the best thing to have her on as my first guest. So, guys, those of you who don't know, we've got a list of questions I'm going to ask her, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and dive into a little bit of a haul video. I've got some cool stuff. She's got some cool stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, first thing here is you are reselling. You're reselling on eBay. And how long are you're part-time or full-time?
I'm part-time right now, but I'm kind of working my way up. I've actually, don't laugh too hard, I've actually been on eBay since 2009.
Wow, it's longer than I have. That's amazing.
I'm older than you are.
Yes. That's okay. No, you are 2009. That's pretty impressive. So have you been kind of going off and on with eBay, doing it full-time, part-time?
Yeah, my niece, who is, let's see, she's 30-something, we'll say mid-30s, because my oldest boy is 32. She and her mom years ago started selling romance novels on eBay to pay for her college. And she went through a program called Running Start in Washington that pays that a junior in high school, you can do your finish your high school and get college credits. Had her associates by the time she graduated from high school, and then she went on and became a nurse. So they used eBay to sell romance novels and collectors novels to make enough money to pay for her to go through college with, and that's how they did that. And so she's like, "Oh, Annie, Noel, you should really just sign up, and maybe you could sell some stuff too." And I said, I don't know why I listened to her, and she probably doesn't either, but I did. And so I sold a few things here and there, and then I kind of forgot about it because I was busy and I went through cancer and kind of just, disappeared from life for about 4 or 5 years. But then it was kind of like, all right, well, I just don't want to work for the man anymore. I'm tired of traveling. I have grandkids and I have my own landscaping company. And so I totally work for nobody but me in 3 different areas.
That's pretty inspirational. I really think it's awesome that you overcome such amazing odds with cancer stuff too. So give me 1 second here. I may have, okay, there we go. And so part-time now, we spoke briefly here, but you have your one of your sons on eBay. It's kind of a family thing, right?
He has his own channel at GFG Paradise. My daughter has her own, or I shouldn't say channel, his own store. My daughter has her own store, and I'm going to get slapped later because I don't have it memorized, but I'll pull it up. Then my granddaughter, who just turned 11, has type 1 diabetes, so I take care of her. That's job number 1. I take care of her. And then the landscaping, and then this. So my granddaughter has decided that she wants to sell on eBay as well. So we are in the process. I've already designed all the stuff and opening up another store. Of course, she's not 18 or whatever the age limit is. So it's going to be her and I together in another store. You got to follow the rules. Follow the rules, people. And it will be, so her nickname, I call her Bugga. And so the name of that store will be Bugga Boutique. I think I showed you a picture of the other night. Anyway, so she's pretty excited, and she's been going through stuff in her room and stuff here. What's this worth, Nanny? I have a 4-year-old grandson. They both love going to the bins. I was recently grounded from selling on eBay by the 4-year-old grandson because he decided that there was things I was selling that he didn't think I should be selling. It was pretty epic.
Well,
anyways,
that's amazing. So the whole family's in on it. That's kind of like my family. My mom helps me here. Ashley, my wife, is amazing. I'm trying to get Kate into it. So that is amazing. I wanted to ask you, one of the most important questions I want to ask all my guests was, how has reselling changed your life? And I know that you went into a little bit of that, how you had, the overcome cancer, which is amazing. You've got, you kind of want to work for yourself. But tell us a little bit about how reselling has changed your life, because I think that's such an amazing question that I wanted to ask you in particular.
Well, I think I was telling you the other night that I don't really pay for hardly anything that I sell, and I guess I'm kind of lucky in that way because I have my own landscaping business, and because I have lived where I live. Our family has owned this property for 50 years. We have a dairy. We had a dairy in Southern Washington. My dad was killed in a farm accident in 1990. My brothers and my mom and everybody kind of closed the farm down in the mid-90s. After that, nobody's heart was really in it. My sister and her family have dairy in Astoria, huge dairy. Buy Tillamook, as in purchase Tillamook cheese. Anyway, I have to put that plug in there. So, I live in the house I grew up in. I've been lucky enough to live here for the last 18 years. There's probably a 10-year span where my boys and I didn't live here. But we moved back in about 18 years ago. I have a son that's 26. I have a son that's 32. And I have my daughter she's my daughter. I didn't biologically have her, but she's mine. And she is 30. So that's why I look like I do. So I have lived here for years, and people just give me stuff. I think I was telling you the other day, I was at some people's house that I take care of, an elderly couple. They've kind of adopted me. I love them to death. And I walked out his house, and he had drilled a hole in his gutter, and there's water coming down in the gutter with a 5-gallon bucket underneath it. And underneath the 5-gallon bucket was 2 sets of 1963 California license plates. And I just looked at him and I said, Emperor, I have one set right here. Both of them. There's less than a day left on the auction. You guys go bid on them. They're worth $169. That's a low buyout. And I just looked at him and I said, What? He goes, just take them, kid. And, so I get a lot of that. I do a lot of clean out for customers in my yard care. They're like, can you haul this off? Can you haul that off? Yeah, I can. What are you going to do with it? And I said, well, what do you want done with it? Once you have it, it's yours. So I love to go, don't get me wrong. I love to go to the thrift stores. I love to go to the bins. Even if I don't buy anything, it's almost like if I'm anxious or I'm having a bad day and I drive by, just to walk in, and kind of funny just to watch people in there sometimes too, because they can be pretty ruthless. Mm-hmm.
That's one thing about people watching. The bins are one of the perfect places for that, is to people watch.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's really cool too. Like, I kind of relate with you a little bit because I was adopted and I went to many foster homes when I was younger. And my grandparents adopted me in Salem, Oregon, and they have a big cattle farm out there. So for a good portion of my younger life, I was cleaning stalls with horses and, horse stalls. They had thoroughbreds and they
I'm
have
sorry.
cattle and all kinds of stuff. So I'm sorry. Yes. But it kind of teaches you values, but it was really, really cool. So yeah. But oh, go ahead.
You got to learn how to work. My grandkids come with me a lot during the summer. They'll spend a lot of time with me when I do my lawn care. And my customers, I don't have a ton. I shouldn't say I don't have. I have a lot of customers, and I'm getting more. I've done absolutely zero advertisement. But if you, as a matter of fact, if you can find my YouTube channel, I guess I didn't really realize that I had a YouTube channel. I signed up for it. Could never find it. I have technical issues, people. There's some slideshows I've made from some of the befores and afters of places, but there isn't a client that I have. Lots of times they're like, are the kids with you today? And they're like totally disappointed because they bought snacks for them. They have a place for them to sit or books or something. And it's like, I feel very fortunate that my clients this year for Christmas, I made homemade candies, different kinds of cookies, and I made goodie bags up. And I went to almost every one of my clients and I delivered them. They all got a treat because that's just how cool they are. And so how many people can say that, So I'm pretty lucky. Does that mean things are easy? No, it doesn't mean things are easy. But if life was easy, you wouldn't strive to go for more. So we all have our days when we're down. We all have our days when we're crabby and sarcastic and don't like this person or don't like that person. But at the end of the day, you get to lay your head down on the pillow and go to sleep, and you get to wake up again the next morning and do it all over again. And, try to do better, try to be a better person. I volunteer. Last year, I didn't volunteer as much as I did the summer before because I had started my lawn care business. But I usually volunteer at for the Clark County Food Bank in their volunteer garden. I have a degree in ag hort. I take care of 3 single moms' yards all year long for free in Kalama Housing. And there's a community garden in Vancouver near the Boys and Girls Club that I usually go and weed eat and mow and bring straw and whatever and try to help the people that have gardens there just kind of keep things up. So it's just something I do. I've kind of always been that way. That's how my family is. And I think more people should volunteer. You don't have to do anything exciting. Carry a bag around in the back of your car with some extra crackers and stuff, and you see somebody that's hungry, give it to them. You'd be amazed at how to make you feel.
One thing that I think is true with reselling is everybody that I encounter are pretty amazing. They all in some way or fashion are really humble people, and they want to help people. And I think it's so super awesome, and I think you're one of those people. So I wanted to ask for the viewers. So what kind of platforms? I know you're on eBay. Do you do any other platforms? Are you selling on anything else?
I signed up on Poshmark, and what was the other one that you suggested so that we could get our names?
So there's Poshmark. It was at McCurry.
I think McCurry.
Yeah.
I need. So I got my names. I haven't started selling on them, but I think I'm going to start selling on Poshmark here pretty soon. We'll see. So I really have a huge following on Pinterest, and that's because I forgot to tell you that when I was sick and going through cancer, I didn't have a lot that I could do. I had like 13 surgeries, chemo, all that good stuff. And so Pinterest was pretty easy to do. I didn't have to do anything. I haven't sold anything on Pinterest, but I have a huge following, and I have like 30,000 pins, or every once in a while I'll go in there and check it or something like that. But so the other day went in and changed my name to Farmgurlscavenger on Pinterest too. So I have Pinterest and YouTube and Instagram. Facebook is just under my regular name, but pretty much everything's I don't have anything to hide. If you find something on me, it's probably true. And if it was in the past, sorry, nobody's perfect. We all have our past, what can you do? But so my Facebook page is public. I don't do anything private. If I have something private, that's what the telephone's for, texting or private message. So that's pretty much where I am.
Nice. Do you do how's so since you've been on eBay for a while, how are you tackling eBay? Are you trying to do like so many listings per week, or are you just trying to list as much as you possibly can? Because I've learned some pretty amazing stuff from you when I met you in person about the vintage spray cans and stuff like that. So what kind of stuff
I try to list as much as I possibly can. Okay, so I don't know if you ever check the glass cases out when you go to the bins. They have a glass case where they'll have like sometimes stuff that they think is worth money that they're just, I will have to say, in the glass case at the bins, not at the retail stores, at the bins, you guys are missing a gold mine there if you're not checking it out. Lots of times they'll have tubs, they're about that big, full of knives, like kitchen knives. You know how many J.H. Henckels and Cutco's and Gerber knives that I've found in that? And you know what you're going to pay for that tub? $7.99. $7.99? Are you out of your mind? I just found 2 vintage Echo knives. So I bought 3 of them because the only reason that I bought them is they had Chicago cutlery in them, which isn't a high-end brand, but that's what I use at home, and I love it. And there was a knife in there that I wanted. And then the one sitting next to it had J.H. Henckels Germany in it. Those are worth some money. Cutco knives have a lifetime guarantee. So if you see a Cutco or a knife block, buy it. It'll sell. So
I've actually sold some of those before. I got it in a storage unit. And real quick, I just want to shout out James Thrift, buddy. You are my second super chat I've ever received since I've started YouTube.
Oh, nice.
And appreciate it, buddy. Yes. Honestly, it should be for you because you're bringing the awesome content.
No. Anyway, if I've ignored anybody saying anything, I just now realized that the chat's I told you guys I'm not technical. So thanks everybody that's here.
No, they're amazing. They all know that. Even me, like, I'm super new with live. So the first live show I went on, I actually didn't even see the chat, so I couldn't even answer questions, which is like, crazy. And so I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. So that being said, sounds like you sell a lot of hard goods. What else do you sell on eBay? I'm really curious.
I have the death pile. I have like 200 ties that I need to list. And it's just a matter. It's not the listing that's the issue for me. I don't mind listing and I don't mind shipping. I hate taking pictures. And I have, I don't know, I have a hard time staying on task, and it's kind of like the squirrel from that, what is that movie? The whatever, Over the Hedge. I'm gone the minute I move from what I'm doing. My mind is gone to something else, and then I'm like, oh, but I was doing that. So I have over 200 ties, and I want to say something. I started buying ties at the bins because of Casey Rockstar Flipper and Luke from
Endless Entrepreneurs.
Yes, thank you. And Endless Entrepreneurs. And so I would just see them and I would start pulling stuff out. Now then Steve Rakin had a had a thing on, the top whatever 100 ties or lists or whatever. And I carry this. I should have it. It's in the other room. Maybe I'll go grab it in a minute. I have this little binder and I wrote I have to write things down. I know I can make a list on my phone, but it's different. Anyway, so I made a list of all the ties that are good ties and the ones not to buy. But keep in mind, and I had this conversation with somebody on Instagram today. Even if you get ties that aren't maybe high resale, or you get them home and there's some threads, there's a hole, it's wrinkled, it's got a stain. It's Sears and Roebuck's from 1967 polyester, but it just got caught up. Man, vintage ties fall right in with vintage clothes. People want that stuff. Look up a box of vintage Pampers if you don't believe me. Because you would be amazed. We're not getting into any of that. We're going to go with Hollywood movie props for that, and I'm dropping it there. Everybody has imagination. Anyway, so, you know,
Oh,
so
yeah,
there
funny.
you have it. So,
Yeah,
so I told the guy, I said, you know, you can lot them up. You can take your good ones that you know are going to be worth money, sell those, do what you're going to do. You can lot up 4 or 5. You got 4 or 5 of the same, lot those up. And then you got your ones that you probably should have thrown back. You can lot those up and sell those for crafters will buy them. People make quilts out of them. They make scarves out of them. They make pillow shams, pillowcases, whatever you want to call, you know. And then the old vintage ones, pick them up. People want that stuff and they pay stupid, crazy money for it. And what's it going to cost you to send it? $2 maybe. I mean, you know, put it in a manila envelope and buy a couple of stamps and put on it. You don't have to do all your shipping through eBay and PayPal. So, originally, I think the UPS was an envelope and stamps.
I've got so many ties too. I got to get on that, but yeah. I've got so much stuff to list. It's just it's incredible. For me, it's like I try to tackle like piles per day. That works out for me. So set like a big group of pile, and no matter if you like listening or not, just getting that done and then moving to the next. But
can you see the stuff behind me? Those are mine.
What is that?
Decorations #1, but actually they were bought to sell, but they're going to be my part of our 4-thing hustle. So nice. I stuck them there. I stuck them there.
For those of you who just joined, we're going to do a cool. She's going to show 4 things. Yeah, and I'm going to show 4 things. So it's going to be really cool. All right, so here's my next question. I think this is a good one, guys, and I've kind of put these questions, but I want to know what your 2018, this year's goals is, both for Poshmark and eBay.
I want to make enough money to take my grandkids to Legoland Hotel. My grandson is 4. His mom is extremely ill. She no longer lives with us. She is having her last dialysis on March 9th and will pass away between 3 days and 2 weeks after that. He wants nothing more than to go to Legoland Hotel. And so enough money to go do that, have a good time, fly down there, rent a car, do whatever, buy them whatever, have a good time. So, and then anything on top of that is just cream, right? So my landscaping business and taking care of my granddaughter, because I get paid for that too, those pay the bills. So, you know, I'm a grandmother and I should be able to spoil my grandkids every once in a while. And so then, you know, eventually the property where I live, it will be sold soon because they built a casino across the freeway, I-5 freeway, the new A1A casino from the Cowlitz tribe. Mm-hmm. And the property where I live is prime property, prime real estate. That'll sell here soon. And then I haven't decided where. I'll have a year to find a place and move and stuff. But I farm organically. I garden organically. I grow my own stuff. We have chickens, ducks, geese, and stuff like that. And so I just want to continue on like that. I don't have any grandiose goals to buy I'd like to buy a brand new 4-door Dodge truck and a trailer to go with for my business. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. I don't owe anybody anything. I do not have any credit cards. None. I don't have any loans. I don't have any debt. And let me tell you, I did before. I sold everything I owned when I went through cancer. And I learned a really good lesson. If you don't need it, you probably shouldn't want it, because just walk through your house and look at all the stuff you have. And it's like Chris from 10K on the Base says, there is nothing you have that cannot be replaced at another time. So you don't have to have The New York Thrifter, I think is her name, shows you how to start on eBay with a $20 bill. Mm-hmm. Go look her up, New York Thrifter. I think that's what she's called. I hope I got that right.
She is amazing. I think she was actually from Oregon too originally, but
and the bin pickers. The bin pickers. Oh, I love that.
I love me some bin pickers.
I get in a bad mood and I turn that on and they're, oh, how you doing today? Good, good. Oh, good, good, good. And I just giggle every time. It just does me. I have to comment on that because they were having a hard time. Somebody was being mean to them. People quit being mean to YouTubers.
The bin pickers are amazing. I love them.
They're from Oregon. They have 5 or 6 kids and they don't work. They just moved to, I think they were in Iowa. I think either Iowa or Kansas City. I should know this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
They everybody says they don't have a job. Their job is eBay. That's what they do. They homeschool their kids. They're awesome people. Whether you agree with homeschooling, whatever, I don't care. They provide for their kids. They have a nice house. How do you think they got that nice house? They work their butts off and they got a system going and they have a following and they do eBay and they work as a team. Find somebody to help you work as a team. You can do it yourself. You absolutely can do it yourself. But let me just tell you something. Even if you just have somebody to whine and moan and complain to, you need that. But you need that. I don't have ants in my pants. I was falling off my chair.
Oh, okay. Real quick, guys. I just want to say that this is the prime example of why I want to invite people that don't have a big social media following here on YouTube.
I'm a lurker.
Yeah, you're a lurker.
I watch a lot of people and I don't always comment. As a matter of fact, for a long time, I didn't comment. And then I would comment and it would be like, I wouldn't hear anything back, or I would catch them live and I would comment and I would say hi. And it would be like, they didn't know who I was. So they would like totally ignore you. And I would be like, you can't take 10 seconds to say hi to a new person that you don't know who they are. So they're new, they're on your channel, but you can talk around them to everybody else. And so then I just quit commenting and doing anything for a long time because I let my 1/4 of a feeling get hurt. Anyway, and so then I was just like, everybody has their own anxieties, and people will talk to the people they know because they know them, and so I was really super excited to meet Glenn and Ken.
Yep.
Yes, Glenn and Ken. And Nicole. I was super excited to meet Nicole because I've been following her for a long time. And she is a super awesome person. She's been, everybody has a story. Don't think that you have your story and you should hide out at home and do whatever. Everybody has a story. Don't pick on somebody because you think they're rude or snooty or whatever. Maybe they have anxiety just as bad as you do, and this is their way to pull themselves out. The eBay reseller community seems like a big community, but it's not. And all you have to do is ask for help, and somebody will be out there to help you. It's pretty much that simple.
I couldn't agree more. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. I want to invite as many people like yourself that have a cool story to tell and how eBay isn't, really working with their life and their family and how they're doing things with eBay and what they're doing. I really want to get as many of those people on here as possible. And guys, real quick, a shameless plug. If you want to be on this channel exactly like this, email me because I think it's going to be amazing. I don't care if you have 1 follower or 10 followers. Come on board and tell us your story. So
I have to say something here. Sherry Applegate said that the bin pickers lived in California. No, they met in Greg, or as they call him, G's, Minnesota, Minneapolis, somewhere. That's where they got married. They lived there. They moved to Oregon. They lived in Oregon for a while in Hillsboro, Beaverton area. Then they moved to California, where they bought a house from her aunt, which was her grandmother's aunt. And then they moved to where they are now. That's the story.
And it's pretty incredible that you're intertwined with all these resellers. It's really awesome to hear their story. I think it's really cool to kind of see where people are going, because you can make a lot of money on eBay, on these social media platforms. You can do well. There's
Right.
Poshmark and everything else. So it's really exciting stuff.
And people are out there. Yeah, right. Key lime kisses. Oh, you're awesome. And so I'm sorry. I'm like a squirrel. Woo!
Key lime is pretty awesome. But I had this list of questions. I'm like, yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next one here.
Staying on task. I guess I need my wrist slapped with a ruler.
No, you're doing amazing. These people are here for you, and I really appreciate it. So here is something that I wanted you in particular to answer, because I think you'll do really well at it. Any tips or hacks? Now, this could be, it's definitely reseller related, but shipping, or it could be just how you purchase your items. Any kind of tips or hacks that you want to give anybody that's watching?
Just I shipping, I'm not the greatest at that. I'm getting much better. Okay, yeah, I got a really good tip, because this is a bad thing for me. I will research something to death and for months before I'll jump into it, and then I'll be like, I know what I need to do, but I don't. And it's an anxiety for me. Because I don't want to make a mistake. I want everything to be perfect, and Lord knows that's not the way life works. So jump in. Just do it. If you need help, find somebody online. There's so many people that will help you. And all of these people who troll the sites and say, you guys are giving away all the information and don't tell people what to buy, and are you kidding me? Go walk past a landfill and tell me that there isn't enough stuff out there for every single person in the United States to have a stinking eBay store and cause competition. Yeah. Walk down the side of the road. I'm Scavenger, Farm Girl Scavenger. If you guys want somebody to really listen to, the Scavenger Life. They are the YouTube Bible. They are my ultimate favorite people. There is not one eBay YouTuber that does not mention or comment about Ryan and Jay. Period. Boom.
They're amazing. There's so many awesome people.
It's amazing to me. So it's a little harder for me to list and do stuff, because I don't do a lot of clothes. Now, I'm not going to say I don't have any in maybe a supposed death pile somewhere, because I do. But the one thing with hard goods and vintage and antiques and stuff is okay, so these were all covered in mud and yuck. So what do you think I did? I spent 15 minutes with a scrub brush in the sink, and I cleaned them up, and I washed them up, and I dried them off. Well, everything that you sell, you can sell it dirty, you can sell them broken, you can sell them chipped, but do you think that you could make 20, 50, 100, depending on the thing, more if you put 5, 10? Go watch Tina the Soul Advisor. He'll tell you how to clean up a pair of shoes and go from a $15 pair of shoes to a $100 pair of shoes in less than 5 minutes. So is it simple, easy, like maybe everybody seems to think it is? No, you got to put a little time and effort into it. But hey, while you're putting that time and effort into it, watch Wade's Ventures. Listen to Scavenger Life. Listen to Rockstar Flipper. Watch Rally Roots. My favorite for garage sales has to be a tie between Rally Roots and the Bonafide Hustler and his brother. Those guys are hilarious. I put my phone on, and I have this little go to the dollar store. See this? It holds a frame. It'll hold your phone too. Stick it in the windowsill in the kitchen and turn your phone on and listen to people while you're cooking or cleaning or doing something hands free. I don't know. It's, I know you can do wireless too, but you can also plug your phone in so it doesn't die. And then, people ask me all the time, how do you have time to listen to all these people and do everything you're doing? I go, it's called multitasking.
You're hilarious. I think it's really cool that you know all these YouTubers.
You should see me when I'm weed eating.
All right. So this is going to be the part where we're going to do our 4 items thrifted. And I thrifted my 4 items today, but it can be any day. So ladies first, you're amazing. You show us what you thrifted. I want to see.
Okay, so I'm gonna use the license plates as one. Okay. And I have 2 sets of them that I found on the ground. So these cost me nothing. And I expect, and I don't do shipping. I don't pay shipping. And any of you guys that pay shipping is your however you want to feel it, if you're putting it into your prices or not. I will never pay for shipping. Maybe I should have that tattooed. Never pay for shipping. People will pay for shipping. They want the stuff. If they want it bad enough, they will pay for shipping. Otherwise, they can have their stuff from China. So I was coming home from 20 miles away from a yard client, and there was an estate sale. And I thought, all right, I'll stop. It really wasn't an estate sale. Most people don't know what a true estate sale. An estate sale is when somebody dies, people, not when you're moving. That's called a moving sale. Let's clarify that. You're not moving out of your house and somebody hasn't moved out in a long car or an ambulance. That is not an estate sale. So the story was these came from Hawaii. They were the gal's dads. She was my mom. Okay, I'm 51 almost. So you can guess my mom's, without saying her age and getting in trouble if she ever sees this, she's 24 years older than me. Anyway, so here's this. This is the original case. It's Polaroid. And it is this is the flash. Sorry. Somebody bubble wrapped it. This is one of the flashes. It's got another flash. The whole camera in a leather case. It is an Argus. More lenses. Another flash. More lenses. Oh, flash bulbs. This is the best part. All of the paperwork that goes with it. Whoever owned this was anal like me. I have analities. Everything stays with everything. All of my computer boxes and the empty boxes are in the rafters in the garage. Can't help myself. I'm not a hoarder, but everything has a place and everything should. On top of that, so they wanted $20 for that. And then they had this. This flash was actually in this. This is broken, but I have a leather punch and I have the stuff to fix it. So it'll just get sewn. So total, they wanted $20 for this and they wanted $20 for this. And the gal seemed to really like me for some reason because we talked for a while. And I got all of this for $5. $5, people.
Wow.
$5. She would have given it to me because I just took some time and chatted with her. I chatted with her for 15 or 20 minutes, and she had all kinds of antiques, and she didn't know what to do with them and how to sell them. So I told her she needed to get on eBay. I told her she needed to start an Etsy shop. I said, go contact some of the local antique dealerships around here. People love that stuff, and antiques are coming back, and because I was chatty, as my mother would say, I made, and I've driven past this lady's house for 50 years. She's on the way up to Mount St. Helens. If everybody's familiar with Mount St. Helens. So that was find number one. If you guys aren't looking for this kind of stuff, I guess that was find number 2. If you guys aren't looking for this kind of stuff, or you're looking for it to sell on that other place that starts with an A, which I don't like the guy whose initials are JB that owns it. So even though I have a store, I think I'm going to cancel it because I just don't want to sell on Amazon. I do have a few principles left, I think. I don't know. I'll have to ask my secretary. I'll get back to you on that one. So this is McCall's Needlework Treasury, and it's old. And it's got more patterns in it. This kind of stuff, amazing. I'm sorry, I didn't bring any spray paint cans in.
That's too bad because I really wanted to show them. But
vintage spray paint cans, people, look them up on eBay. You're gonna go, say what? I almost cussed. That would have been horrible. I have a problem with that. But I'm aware of it, and that's half the problem. Half the solving it. So this is a bin find, and my son actually found it. I actually looked at it and walked by it, and I thought to myself, all right, I want this for myself. And then I was like, I don't want to pay for it. And then I was like, because I'm thinking at that point in time, all right, it's by the pound. And then I'm like, no, it's not. It's a hardcover book. And then I'm like, no, it's not. It's magazines. And I'm buddies with some of the people there because I'm chatty and they like me. I don't know. Maybe I paid them off. Maybe I need to take them some candy. Maybe if they knew me better, they wouldn't like me. This is the Mother Earth News, and I have 4 sets of them that I paid 50 cents a piece because they charged me at the magazine rate. This box right here is issue number 56 through 61, March through April of 1971. So they're vintage. I don't know if you guys, they're vintage magazines. And so, like I said, I walked past them, and Justin brings me all 4 of them, and he goes, Mom. I go, no, I don't think they'll sell. And he goes, they'll sell. And he goes, so then he pulls up, he has it on his phone. He goes, oh, they're selling. That's what I got of them. Oh, they're selling. They're selling. All right. So we loaded up and took them home. They've been in my office for 2 months because I kind of just want to keep them for myself. But I think I'm going to sell them. They have to go sooner or later, but and then another thing, people, see this? Somebody was selling this for $4. It's a farming magazine. I got it for 10 cents. Old Dutch cleanser, twice the speed. People will pay you. This is from November 1950. Somebody paid 20 cents for it back then. That's crazy. That's kind of like a Vogue magazine. I don't know how much do those things cost. I haven't bought a magazine in years. Somebody signed me up for a free subscription, and they just go right in the fireplace because they make great starting fuel. But, I can't help myself. Winterizing. Can you save money? Frost blackened roses. I mean, this is how people really farmed when people really farmed. Like I really farm now, like we farmed, like not with chemicals, not with all that stuff. So this right here, I haven't looked it up. I don't need to look it up. I know it'll go for whatever I want to put it on. Kind of like Ryan from Scavenger Life. She just prices stuff. She's been doing it for so long. She goes, I told Jay that I'm going to sell this for a lot of money, and I listed it for $50, and it's sold. And Jay goes, yeah, and it's sold. He goes, I don't know how she does it. Well, because she's been doing it long enough. So find something that you're passionate about. Find something that you know about. Start there. If it's toilet paper, empty toilet paper rolls, heck, if you're throwing money away, I don't have the patience to save that stuff. Sorry. Every time you throw a toilet paper roll away, a paper towel roll away, and a paper egg carton, the paper egg cartons, you're throwing money away, people, because there are people online that buy that 4-letter word, stuff. That's it. That's the 4-letter word, stuff. You would be amazed. You would be amazed. All right. Those are my 4. Let's see yours. And vintage stuff is harder you got to do a little more time researching it, right? So it takes a little more time. But the more you get into it, the more you get into it, the more you get into it. So I love that stuff. I've always loved that stuff. My kitchen is full of it. I'm tired of dusting. So guess what's happening? Whoop, de doop, doop, doop. Out the door you go. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody put a gag on that lady.
Oh, I almost started crying, guys. I'm sorry.
Coat caps, yeah.
You are very impressive.
Well.
You are impressive. I don't know how I can go after that. I feel like I'm gonna let people.
Show me your Nikes. Show me your Nikes, Wade.
I've got like 700 pair right here, but that's not. I would rather sell toilet paper rolls. Like, oh.
I'm telling you, you should get Cade into that. Get him a little box and say, Cade, put that in your box. And this is his. There you go. That kid's smart. He can figure it out.
Oh my gosh, that kid is too smart. It was funny on my Instagram. You probably seen it. You see the one where he was like swishing the shirt back and forth, you know, yeah. And then and that was actually the shirt I wore to the meetup. It was hilarious.
Take that little guy to some garage sales and see what kind of deals you get. People like babies.
Well, I almost feel like we should make this a daily show, me and you. In fact, when I'm saying me and you, I mean really you, because honestly, I bring no value. But
that's not true. Somebody here was just, you're going to make my eyes water. Somebody here was just asking if you were still here on the feed.
Who was that?
I got to go up here. Is Wade still here? Just 10 Pac-Man. Sorry, just 10. I'm sorry. I have an issue. There's a song about that. I got issues, but then so do you, or you got issues, but then so do I. Something.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I've got 3 items here that are not nearly as exciting, but let me go ahead and quickly go over this because I've got 2 more questions I want to ask you towards the end. And honestly, everybody in chat, all like 50 of them, they love you. So,
I've been reading that. I would get way off task, and I'm having a hard enough time as it is. What do you got?
Yeah, I was like, so those of you who don't know, I have up here, I have an email that I sent her, and it has like bulletin points of what I was going to ask her, and I had to throw this out the window because this is like.
I printed it out. It's right here.
Did you print it out? Oh,
told you I'm old school.
Oh. That's hilarious. Well, let me go through. I only have actually 2 items here, but multiple quantities. And so, guys, I went to Ross Just for Less. You guys know that I do a lot of that. And I actually got lucky and found these Perry Ellis men's shoes. And real quick, I want you guys to guess how much I paid for them. But Ross wanted $33. $199.
Are you out of your mind?
I actually paid 49 cents.
I was going to say, I saw some of your price tags on some things. Do you think Perry Mason would wear those? Perry Ellis shoes?
See? 49. I don't know if you guys can see if it's
that's awesome.
If it's too blurry. But 49 cents, guys. Pretty cool.
So what do you think you're going to get for him?
Honestly, I don't sell a lot of him. I just can't can't get to that. Yeah, I mean, for my thing is when I'm actually in Ross, like I think it's more time to look at if stuff is 50 cents. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I spent $22 on lunch today for 2 people. And so when I see stuff that's 50 cents with new tags, I'll just purchase it and try it out. Yeah. And not only that, but if you get brands that you're not used to or familiar with, you know, it's a really cheap.
He does get all the deals on the new stuff, Robbie.
Oh yeah.
You're there.
Yep.
He's a sleuth. And he knows how to get. Isn't it you that was talking about how from one Ross to another they might not have the markdowns, and then if you just get the manager and go, pretty sneaky.
No, but yes. Hey, and I think I know what to do now. Like you're only 45 minutes.
Zach wants to know what size those shoes are.
Those shoes now they're smaller. I think they're 7.5.
You might make a sale here, and then you won't have to list them.
Oh, there you go. It's 7.5, so their tub is smaller, but still
7.5 men's.
Yeah. So another thing too, guys, is I've got a quick story.
No joke. Lame.
So now I've got my second thing here. Now these are 501 jeans, and I want you guys to guess how much I paid for these at Ross. Go ahead.
I'm gonna stick with my $1.99.
$1.99. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Oh, they're too small for tack. That sucks. I hope I'm saying your name right.
$1. Now I've got 3 pair. This is going to be a quick story.
Were they all the same price?
That's the story. So there's 3. That's so crazy. 22 cents, Key. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I paid 49 cents, guys, for 501, and these are really cool. These are raw, unwashed denim jeans for 49 cents. Yeah. Okay, so
pretty close. He was just $1 off, but he said $1.49.
Oh, geez. So I actually picked up 3 pair. Now let me explain real quick. This may help you. So there was 3 pair here, guys. Now one of them had 49 cents. And then if you look here, one had 99 cents, or excuse me, 11.99. And then this one here had 13.99. So all the same pairs of jeans, different prices. One was 49 cents and the rest were kind of high. So what happened was a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll pick up the cheap one, but they won't worry about the second pairs that are there. And so what you need to do is I went up to the cashier and I was like, hey, this is the same exact pair of jeans for 49 cents. These ones are, way more expensive. So she called the manager. Manager went ahead and keyed it in, and I ended up paying $1.50 for 3 pair of 501s. So
yes,
this is my receipt, just so you guys know. You can see here, 49 cents, 49 cents, and 49 cents. So always ask. A lot of people don't do that. It's really important.
And people, you need to understand something. The worst that they're going to do is tell you no. Mm-hmm. And you were no worse off than if you didn't ask. That's the best piece of advice my mom's ever given you. The worst somebody is ever going to do is tell you no. And you were no worse off than if you didn't ask. And if it's for something that you need for yourself or whatever, and somebody tells you no, not necessarily because they don't want to help you, that maybe they can't, but you will figure out a way to get what you need. But never don't ask, because the worst someone is ever going to say is no.
Yeah, to answer your question, so those were all 3 on the same clearance rack, and it happens 2 ways. So one way is you'll find the same item on the clearance rack, and there'll be different prices. And then another way, this is the best way, guys. And this is what happens. It happens all the time. So you'll go to the clearance rack and you'll find something incredibly affordable. You pick it out, but then nobody goes and checks the regular racks to see if they hadn't put it on the clearance rack yet. I've done this many times where you find one shirt or one jersey and it's on clearance, but there's another 5 of them that are not on clearance. You grab those, you go up to the cashier, and just because they haven't plugged the tags on them, a lot of people quit after they go through the clearance, and you need to go through the other racks too. And if the same item's there, pull it and then compare tags when you're at the register.
Elime's a frequent discounter. We need to get her a frequent discounter card.
We can make that happen.
I'm close to being an ART member, but not quite. I'll call you guys up when I get my senior citizen discount. We'll all go thrifting together.
Tuesdays, guys. If you're a senior citizen I always take mom on Tuesdays, and you get 10% off Ross Dress for Less is on Tuesdays. So, and I think it's 55 and up. Yeah.
I'd take my mom, but I don't think she could handle me for that long. Probably leave me there, and I'd have to call somebody for a ride.
Oh, jeez. My mom is so incredibly supportive. She loves going with me to Ross. She loves doing storage units. She loves the whole reselling thing. She's always had that.
My favorite store to go to is Tuesday mornings. Do you guys ever go there? Usually if there's a Ross and a TJ Maxx, there's a Tuesday mornings, and they're kind of like a Ross and a TJ Maxx. They got a little bit of everything that's discounted somewhere and some higher end stuff, but I can't handle going in those stores, guys. So you guys can. I can't even handle going in those stores to buy something just for me. I get in there and I'm like, oh.
Yep. To answer your question, senior citizen discount does apply to clearance at Ross.
Yes.
Yep.
Often
My
do you find dirt cheap stuff there under dollar weight? Just Pac-Man wants to know.
let's see. What did just Pac-Man say? Sorry.
How often do you find stuff under a dollar dirt cheap?
Every day. But let me tell you guys what I do. It's very key to success with Ross. And as you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, God honest truth, I do not keep anything from you guys. I always tell you how I do things. But what I do basically is Sunday, I will call the Ross and I will ask them what department they're marking down Monday. Because every single Monday, like clockwork, throughout the whole year, a department gets marked down in Ross for clearance. So if it was men's this week, so if you guys go to your Ross this week, it was men's. Hence why I've got men's jeans and men's shoes. Next week it may be something different. So you basically need to call ahead of time, figure out what is going to be marked down the month or the week before. Now sometimes, guys, I do have a full-time corporate job. I cannot make it to the Ross, so that's why Mom is so supportive, because she actually will thrift for me Monday mornings when they mark it down. And a lot of times the managers
get a job there over the holidays so we can get an even better discount, I bet.
yeah, it's incredible. And so send family members and see if they can go Monday mornings. And like today, I was literally behind a lady marking down the merchandise, and I picked up a bunch of cleats as well. I just didn't feel like dragging them in here. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys.
You look in the shoe bins at the bins, it is amazing to me how many pairs of cleats are in there. My youngest son played youth football and football from the 4th grade on, and he wears a size 13. People, do you know how expensive a size 13 pair of football cleats are that get worn for one season? Look in those bins, because I see baseball, soccer, football, track and field cleats, and you're paying by the pound for them. Here in the Portland, Vancouver area, you pay by the pound for them. Some places it's a certain amount per, I don't know. Cleats, they just get overlooked, and some of them don't even look like they've hardly ever been used, and you can sell them for buku dollars. Yeah,
we're blessed in this area. We've got Nike, Adidas, Columbia, all in this area. So
yeah,
it's incredible.
We just need Converse now.
Yeah. So I want to spend the last 10 to 15 minutes on you. And the reason being, guys, is every single day I've been thinking about doing this. And so what we're going to do is Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I'm going to have people on the channel, and I want to unravel how eBay, how platforms like this is really helping you guys out. And I am learning a lot.
Robbie's wife is calling Ross right now. That's hilarious.
Is he? Oh, that's hilarious. By the way, Robbie, it should be men's today. It should be men's. I don't know where you're at, but it should be men's. So, but the last few questions I have is I want you to dig deep down, and if there's something that you would like this audience to know, something maybe about your life in general, or eBay, could be anything, maybe inspirational quotes, whatever you want to do. We've got another 10 minutes here, and I want to leave it up to you because you're way more amazing than I am. So you are bringing the
whatever.
So go ahead.
Whatever. I think to take a quote from Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates. It really is. I guess if I'm having a bad day or a bad moment, which I sometimes will have 24 hours worth of bad moments in one whole day, and I've had some trials in my life, but so is the person sitting next to me. You don't know what somebody else is going through. And I like to practice what I preach, but I'm not always as good as I could. I raised 2 boys on my own by myself from the get-go. One of them has a bachelor's degree and teaches for the Vancouver School District. And by the way, I was a single parent and I worked 3 jobs. And at one point in time, I worked 3 jobs and was going to school full time. I was carrying 32 point some credits, and I got almost a 4.0 GPA while working 2.5 jobs full time and having 2 kids. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that it can be done. And don't ask me how I did it, because I went to bed every night and I got up every morning and I just did what had to be done. Everybody has a struggle in life. Everybody has a story in life. So sometimes we have to pull our head out of our arsenal of what's going around and look at other people and say, well, they're driving a Ferrari, so they've got a better story because they've got more money. That's not necessarily true. That may not even be their Ferrari. And they may just be driving it to somebody else's house to park it so that it doesn't get taken away. Who knows, you know? So life is what you make it. And be kind. Try to be kind. Try to be kind. Because there's somebody out there that you just smiling at them are saying, that's a really pretty dress. I love your hairstyle. Hold the door open for them. Do something. It takes 0 effort to be kind. And we are all running around in this rat race that we're running around in. And for somebody to smile at you or to do something little or just to be kind or make a comment. I see people all the time walking and they have this nasty frown. They're slumped over and the whatever. And I will look at them and I will just find something. And as I pass them, I will just say something to them. And it's amazing to me. I am a people watcher. It's amazing to me what that one little comment did to that person just by watching their body language from what you said to them in the few seconds you passed them. You don't know what they were thinking, maybe, you know, what they were doing, what they were planning, what they were going to maybe do if they're having a really bad day. So I don't know. Be kind. Be kind. You want people to be kind to you. Well, why should they be kind to you if you can't be kind to them? So be kind.
I 100% agree. I think that's an amazing way to end this. And I want to, before we end it, can you put your information down in chat for us so they can, because you do have a YouTube, go ahead and give out where they can find you, because I know these people are going to be lurkers. They're going to want to know what's going on.
Stuff. Well, anything that I'll see what I can do, guys. Don't promise, but Farmgurlscavenger, just know that that's me. You can find, if you just go on Instagram, I'm Farmgurlscavenger on Instagram, Farmgurlscavenger on Pinterest, same on Mercari and Poshmark. And I have opened up accounts on Mercari and Poshmark. I haven't started doing anything. And then my Facebook is just under my name.
I'm getting your link right now on YouTube.
You're much more technical savvy than me.
Yes, let me. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. You
I
caught
have
me.
3 computer screens here, and I should have them open, but one of them decided to not get a signal, and I don't have the patience to deal with it. So I'll deal with that after I've had a cup of coffee, maybe. We'll see. I've already had too many probably already.
All right, guys. So real quick, I'm trying not to let you guys know who's going to be on this show. So if you guys can hit the like button, and please make sure you subscribe to both channels, and then also the little bell. Mama. Yeah, and let me see if I can get your Instagram real quick. So while I'm doing that, go ahead and give a few more stories.
Don't laugh at me, people. Reseller Nietzsche just said just subbed your IG. Oh, subscribe to my Instagram. Sorry. I definitely need some more coffee. I can figure stuff out pretty fast, but here, because this is so true. Chemo brain. I'm just gonna blame it on the chemo, because why not? I'm 5 years out, and March 15th will be exactly 6 years from my last chemo, and they had given me 3 months to live. And it's been a long road. I was allergic to the chemo, but I'll tell you, the last couple of years, you hear people talk about chemo brain, give them sympathy, because it's there and it's real. anyway, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You're amazing. This is the exact reason, guys. So many times you get interviews with really popular resellers. This is going to give you an opportunity Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to find these amazing people that don't have a big following. You guys would never have found her. She's really crazy. I've talked to her on the phone a few times. She's amazing. Yep. And I just want to say I really appreciate you coming on board. I'm glad you were the first one, because I guarantee you some creators here in this chat and people that watch this video are going to want you on their channel. I didn't talk at all. You were amazing. You were the star. So I really appreciate you joining. I appreciate everybody coming.
There's 47 people watching, and there were way more people watching before that, but there's only 3 likes on here. Come on, you guys, as Steve Rakin would say, smash that like button for Wade.
Oh, I really truly love this.
They're all gonna go retract their thumbs up now.
No, I have such amazing people that follow me, and that I
want y'all to know that I did my hair and put makeup on too. No, not really, but it sounded good. I only do makeup a couple of times a year, and I put some on the other night for the meetup, so I'm good for like 3 months.
You look amazing, and it was really fun meeting you in person.
I had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun meeting.
So one of these days, Wade's gonna have my older son on, because he has a store too, and you can see if the craziness went down a generation or not.
Mm-hmm. And guys, I will definitely do a follow up with her and kind of see where her life is at very shortly. So I appreciate all the love. We're gonna go ahead and end this recording. Please.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Yes, thank you so much, and hopefully this was hopefully you guys like this style, and I hope that tomorrow is an awesome time too. So you guys are amazing.
Bye.